our story is important. It is a part of American history, and that we want to tell it.
One of the most beautiful parts about it was the fact that there's not only a beautiful Indigenous history there, but it's tied in every story that you hear from all the park rangers. From every minute that they talk about one particular tree, they take it back to the Indigenous folks from that area. And that was one of the most beautiful experiences of that trip.
I was born in Caracas, Venezuela. When I was much younger, I had visited a lot of the national parks, but I did not know that they were actually part of the system. When the national parks started doing the program called Encuentra tu Parque, you could tell that the parks were trying to connect with people, the Latino population that only speaks Spanish. When I was part of the American Latino Expedition, it was an incredible journey. There was something magical about being in the parks. You're breathing so much natural, fresh air, and you just feel revitalized by being there. It shouldn't just be just Latinos, it shouldn't just be just African Americans together and Asians by themselves. We should all be together, we should all be holding hands, we should all be traveling together to the national parks.
I had no idea the Park Service existed. I was like the youngest of 5 kids. Basically found out about it through my best friend in college. I was still not interested. Like I just thought, oh, okay, like all these big natural spaces, those are parks, right? And I thought, like, I'm from Houston, like I'm a city person. I don't want to live in the middle of nowhere. So it wasn't until, spending more time with her and her making a suggestion like, hey, did you know there's also historical sites, MLK, the monuments, all those things. And for me, that's when I was like, oh, kind of the light bulb went off, and I started to investigate that as something to look into. The ways that I'm comfortable sort of recreating in national parks or experiencing parks is okay.
You go back home and you have a new story to tell, and then you start to be a little bit more open on new opportunities and new travels that you never thought you could do before. And the national parks allows you to do that.
Going to like Sequoia and learning about Charles Young and the Buffalo Soldiers, that's really exciting for me and also makes me feel included. Like I'm also, my history is also part of that park story. Explore and based on what your interests are, there's kind of something out there for everyone. So if you are on the end of the continuum where you are into outdoor extreme sports, there is something for you. If you're the person like me who's really passionate about history and really wants to touch those archival documents, you probably can't touch them, but there are sites and places you could see it. So I would just say, depending on what your interests are, there's something out there.